You played a game or two of Eternal Return, and you had a lot of trouble figuring out what was going on, or you died really quickly. And that's why I'm here. Hi, I'm Neo, and I've been playing Eternal Return since the very beginning. I've logged just about 400 hours on Steam, and I'm here today to help all the new players learn how to play Eternal Return. This is going to be a fully comprehensive guide. So we're going to start at the very beginning. You use your mouse to right click to move. We're not too far. We're not going that far back. In order to try to shorten the video length and to get out as much information as humanly possible in that short amount of time, there's going to be little blurbs that show up like this. And we're just going to call them pro tips. Sure, pro tips. These are just going to be tiny little tips and optimizations that can help even the veteran players. Also, if you'd like to, you can use the scroll bar down below in this video, and you can skip to the segments that you think you need the most help with. The first thing we're actually going to talk about is picking a character to play. Just go right on over to the collection here in the top left. Now, there is a lot of characters in this game right now, and they add a new one every 2 weeks. And honestly, I'm not going to sit here and give you a tier list or tell you what's meta. They are all good in their own right. You should be picking your character by the rule of cool. Just pick whatever character stands out to you the most. It could be what they look like, their voice, the gameplay that they have. Me personally, I play a lot of different characters, all just for different reasons. I play Adriana because I like her zoning capabilities. I play Nathapon because I like his aggressive playstyle. I play Ava because she's cute. It really doesn't matter what character you end up picking, as long as you enjoy the character. All right, you picked out a character, great. Whoa, hold on. We can't just start a game. We have to do some pre-game stuff first. So let's go on over to the build page. Picking what build you're going to do is the single most important thing in Eternal Return. Having the wrong build or bad build can ruin the character for you. Now, if I just made you sweat, relax. Making a build is an art form. Just clicking on the new build button can overwhelm you. So we're just going to import a build, and it's really easy. And we're not going to use the search recommended build function because there is a lot of trash on there. And for your ease and convenience, I'm going to put the top build code for every single character in the description down below. Now let me explain how I found the top builds. We're going to a website called Hyejin. Hyejin is very similar to op.gg if you've ever used that for League of Legends. It's an end-all be-all hub for checking your own profile, checking your MMR, making builds, looking up top players, etc. We're going to go up to the Artisan Ranking tab, and we're going to go ahead and click on the character we picked, and then we're going to see the top players of that character. And we're just going to click on one of their profiles, and right there in their match history is the build code for the build. Now, to be fair, this could be the build that's in the search recommended function, but 90% of the time it's really not. So we got the character, we got the build, and we don't need to worry about augments. Augments are level restricted. There is one more thing that we need to do to make your experience a lot better. We're going to go back over to the settings, and we're going to go enable auto loot. This is going to make your looting experience as a new player a million times better. I wish this was in the game when I started. Now we are ready to start the game. Hit the accept button, lock in that character, slap that build on, go to your augments, click the Havoc augment as your default augment, and we're ready to go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to slap on that info HUD by pressing F8. This gives you very valuable information that you would not have otherwise if you did not press this button. The very first day of the game should be spent completing your build. So let's talk about that. Open the container, looking at the items, grabbing the items, and then seeing if you can craft up the next item. No. That's slow. We don't do that. Instead, you're gonna click on the container and immediately move right on over to the next one. Your subconscious brain will process if there was a yellow tag on any of the items in the previous container that you clicked on. If there was, just immediately backtrack and grab it. This is gonna save you a lot of time in the long run, and I highly recommend you get used to this. You should also be looking for cameras, binoculars, and food items. Food item recipes are just gonna come with time, but you can really just grab a bunch of just random food items and just see what they craft up into. For example, you always start with 2 bread. If you see a piece of chocolate, it's gonna have a little crafting symbol on it. A bread and a chocolate makes a chocolate pie. Just try grabbing a bunch of stuff and see what it ends up making. You should be looting containers that are on the way to the next zone. Trust me, this will tremendously speed up your looting process. Like if your next zone is far away and you need to use the hyperloop, you should be looting containers on the way to the hyperloop. The baseline for having your full build done is at the end of day 1 or around midway through night 1, depending on whatever character you ended up picking. Yes. This game has a day and night cycle. This is to provide advantages to different types of characters depending on which time it is. For instance, in the daytime you can see a lot farther, so generally ranged characters are going to be stronger. In contrast, nighttime restricts your vision, so a lot of the times the melee characters are going to be stronger. And you'll realize exactly how strong cameras are, so you can see what character you're about to fight in the nighttime. As soon as your weapon is complete, you can start hunting. Killing these hunts is essential for getting your weapon level up. At the lower levels, start with the chickens, the bats, and the wild dogs. Once you start feeling strong enough, which is, at around character level 8 or 9, you can start going for things like the boars and the bears and the wolves. Boars especially are very underrated. They give a lot of experience, but they do have a lot of health. Doing an emote when you see another player is a good way to show that you mean no harm, and it signs a little truce. And I want to let you know that fighting other players in the very early game is worthless. It doesn't give a lot of experience. It slows you down a lot, and there's always a super high chance that they just get away by using a speed gate. Or even in a worst case scenario, they just turn it around and kill you. Not only that, but a lot of the time, they don't even have items worth taking. It really just ruins the game for both of you. Even in ranked games, the time that you get the kill at matters, and so does how well the other player was doing. Attacking and chasing other players in the beginning it's just pointless. Okay, you got your full build done. It's the mid game. Now what? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Going for the bear spawns in Uptown or Dock for all that sweet experience. Or getting a 4 score is really good. Contesting other players at a Tree of Life for a meteorite spawn. Start hunting other players when they show the little red exclamation mark that they're doing something on the minimap. Looking to kill either Alpha or Omega for their loot. All of these things are great options. You're going to want to get these items. You're going to want meteorite, Tree of Life, Mithril, or a 4 score. These items let you transition into an even stronger build. Go ahead and press the B key. And let me introduce you to the item menu. This homepage shows you the big upgrade items you can make depending on what resource you end up getting. Now, picking what item you actually want is kind of character specific, but as a general rule of thumb, you really want a boot upgrade, and a mithril armor piece is always a solid option. All the while you're going through these zones, either getting item upgrades or looking for players to kill, you should be killing all of the hunts you see. I'll reiterate, you need that weapon level up. It is absolutely essential for your damage and greatly increases the chance of winning. Sometimes you're going to fight another player and they're going to be at very low HP and they're going to run away. I'm here to tell you that in general, chasing is bad. Very, very bad. There are very few situations where a chase will end well for you as the chaser. You will get pulled into an area with other players, and you will get tagged in third party. Eternal Return is not a solo 1v1 game. Third partying is absolutely acceptable and viable. If you see a chase happening, think before you choose who to tag. The player running might be somewhat low on health, but who's chasing them? Are they on a killing spree? Is the player being chased on a killing spree? As the third party, determine the outcome of this chase. Now, as the mid game goes on, you'll start to see more and more zones start closing down to the red. And I'm telling you, as a new player, don't be so afraid of the red. You get so much time to just run in the red, and killing other players increases this amount of time. Use the red in your timer as a resource, not as an end-all be-all do not touch zone. You made it. It's the late game. Wickling just spawned. This boss is something you absolutely want to fight or contest. Killing Wickling gives you an insanely good buff that applies a bleed every single time you do damage to somebody in combat. This means that you can just consistently poke people, and it just does a lot of damage over time. Having Wickling buff makes winning very, very easy. The way that the safety zones work before the final zone is that there can only be one player in the safe zone. If there are more than one player in the safe zone, your timer starts ticking. Your goal during this section is not necessarily to kill the other person, but just keep their timer ticking and keep them out of your safe zone. But remember, getting a kill does increase your timer. And remember that the final safe zone is always going to be around the area's camera surveillance system. And that's it. You've been terminated. Or you won. Here we are in the post-game lobby. A lot of time it's nice to say GG if you were in the final 2 or 3. And that's whether you actually thought it was a good game or not. A lot of time people want to talk about what just happened in the last game. So don't be too afraid to strike up a conversation. I've added a lot of friends just from the end game lobby, just having a chat with them. And it's always more fun to play with names you recognize around Lumi Island. And that's it. That's everything you need to know about how to really get started playing Eternal Return. Everything else is practice makes perfect. This video took a while to make, so I'm absolutely shelling out right now and asking you to like and subscribe. I make character guides and fun videos and a bunch of other variety content. Now let me ask you, did I miss something? Leave a comment down below and tell me what I missed. Maybe you can help out another new player who's having a problem. And don't be afraid to ask questions. I try to respond to every single comment I get. Thanks for watching and good luck.